Hello, hope you're doing well. My name is Super Maya, and welcome back to Zardy's Maze. The new update is finally here, version 3.0. This is a long-awaited update that the community's been waiting for a while. It got pushed back a little bit because of some unforeseen circumstances, but now it is here, and we are ready to play it. All these people at the bottom right here, these are the developers of this game. Give them all the love and support in the world. They really deserve it. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I'm an idiot. I played through these challenges, and I gave my first impressions. However, for some reason, the sound wasn't recording. Now, my voice was recording, but the game audio was not. So instead, I thought that I would just do sort of a showcase and go through and show you the new challenges all in one video, because originally I was going to do them on 3 separate videos, but I guess that's not going to work out anymore. I have funny reactions of me getting scared to stuff without any game audio, which might be a little funny, but for this I think I'll just stick to that. So going ahead and getting ready to go into the first challenge. First challenge, 1 out of 3, is challenge 8. Now this one is daytime. Interesting. Why? Because no other challenge or mode in this entire game takes place during the daytime. And as the name might suggest, it does indeed take place during daytime. Not only that, it has a really funny OST to go along with it. So once you go in, the maze closes up behind you. Normal stuff, right? Well, actually, it's not normal stuff. Normally it does not, however. For here, this challenge, you'll need to get your axe from the center of the maze, which is, not new, but it's newish. Oh no, what was that sound? Who's that? What's going on? Whoa, it's Zardy! Just kidding, I already knew that was gonna happen. It's still scary every time. Look at this, dude. He's running! We thought he was an old man. Look at this man. He's sprinting. He is Okay, well, I did not think I was gonna get scared while playing this, but he is legit just sprinting at us. It's crazy, man. Okay, so obviously he does not normally do this, as those who have played the game probably know. This is a new thing that is, I don't know if it's specific to this challenge, but it does not happen often, to say the least. However, right now, he is not quite fast enough. So basically, he's pretty much the same. He'll teleport around here and there and do his thing, but he's pretty much the only threat. But let me tell you, he's the only threat that needs to be here, because man, is he fast. After destroying all 3, you have to be very careful. If you really want to beat this challenge, tips I might suggest, just jump obviously, and make sure that you always have an exit. Don't do what I'm doing. If you want to win this challenge and make sure that you win it easily, just don't give Zardy the chance. Always, plot out what you're doing beforehand and all that, and just kind of go about your day. I mean, if you play carefully and slowly, you'll probably be fine. See, I'm not playing particularly careful here. In fact, I'm playing not careful at all. Yeah, see, he is very fast now. Oh yeah, also this. He tries to trick you up, which, by the way, here, cut to me without the game audio. What in the world? No! Oh, that's so rude of you. Yeah, he tries to trick you up. And it works if you're not aware of it. Anyway, that was challenge 8. Now, here is the piece de resistance. Challenge 9, Bushwhack. Those of you who are unaware, Bushwhack is the name of a Friday Night Funkin' mod song that came out that was Zardy related. Now, originally, it was just a song, but in the release trailer for the song, or at least the teaser trailer, Swanky Box hinted at the idea that there was a challenge in Zardy's Maze coming, and it was deemed the Bushwhack Challenge. Now, if you're reading this, that is indeed what the name of the challenge is. So, this is the second challenge of the 3, Bushwhack. This is the mode that was supposed to rival True Foolhardy. Well, Swanky Box didn't say that. However, the community kind of reached that consensus. Not because we actually believed it or anything like that, more just that we got caught up in the hype. But let me tell you right now, this challenge is amazing. Now, like I said before, I've already played these. The sound wasn't working, but let me say right now, this challenge, you're not prepared. It is amazing. It closes behind you. You go in, destroy one weed. Very interesting, right? I'm pretty sure it's what it said. Even if it's not what it said, though, there's only one weed. Seems a little strange, right? Oh, no. What's going on here? Oh, so this obviously is not normal. Zardy is standing menacingly, I might add, right in the center of the maze. Interesting. There's a cable crow over there, and unfortunately we weren't able to see it because I was slow. But there is a pumpkin jack crawling around somewhere here. Not crawling, he's walking. But anyway, this is intriguing. What? Oh, it still scared me. It still scared me. Okay, yeah, Zardy just fucking sprints at you. And then this music starts, which is, I'm just gonna let you listen to it for a second. Okay, it's been a second, I'm back, because I have to explain things. Okay, after destroying the center one, 4 show up on the 4 corners. Now, this is interesting, because once again, not really normally how Zardy's maze works. However, everything is fine for now. When Zardy makes that terrifying noise, he is spawned in. Now, do you want to know some tips for beating this while I'm playing it? Hopefully I can beat it while giving tips, because that would give credibility. My biggest tip, do not stop running. The pumpkin jacks are a much bigger threat than they appear to be at first. Not because you can't stop them, but because if they get too close, they are about as fast as you and will give you a lot of trouble. Now, the only reason I'm stopping running here is because I am recharging my flashlight, which is okay if you've only destroyed 2 or 3 of the weeds. After 4, don't stop running. See, watch, if I stop running here, the pumpkin jacks will catch up to me, and then I'll be caught in pretty much an endless loop of trying to get away from them. See? Okay, I got lucky. I was able to get away from him. The only time you should stop... Okay, I think I'm alright. Okay, I'm alright. If they get too close to you, you're in for a rough time. Now, this is the 4th weed of the bunch. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, PJ got me. So that will happen, unfortunately. This is not an easy mode. It would have been nice if I was able to get it first try while explaining it, but unfortunately for me and for you, well, we get to talk for a little bit more. That's not so bad. This is less of a challenge and more of a boss fight. And let me tell you, it's fucking awesome. I am in love with this challenge. The wait was worth it. We had to wait a few, I don't know if it's a couple or a few more months more than we originally were planned, but if this wasn't exactly how it was right now when it got released a couple months ago in an alternate universe, then I don't want it, because this is fantastic. I think I'm dead to a pumpkin jack. Zardy is very picky about the light. Okay, I'm gonna sit here for just a second. Now, I know I'm contradicting myself, but that's just because I'm an idiot, not because the advice is bad. Focusing. Okay, the reason I'm stopping is because there's no pumpkin jacks around me. What? This game hates me. Bro, this game hates me. I can't show the cool thing. I'm gonna risk it so I can show the cool thing. Oh, would you look at that? It's a giant fucking weed. What the fuck is that thing? Okay, the brutes now have new AI. They're going around this giant weed, kind of in a square formation, doing their own thing. As you can probably tell, that took a little bit more than 3 hits to destroy. I think I maybe put in 8 or so. I don't know how many I put in, but here's the secret. When you put in enough, a rattler spawns, which is not fun. But unfortunately, sometimes you just gotta do it. I'm gonna try to be a gamer and just destroy it. Fuck. Swanky Box and the dev team are really, really mean, and they put a fucking cable crow thing right on the hole. Go away. All right, there we go. There's the challenge complete. Man, that challenge is so awesome. Once again, just I want to say real quick before we go on to challenge 10, if that challenge was not exactly as it is today, 2 months ago, when the update got pushed back, I don't want it. This was worth the wait. That was so good. The remix, I'm imagining that the remix was probably done by Rosebud. I believe Rosebud did the original Friday Night Funkin' Bushwhack song. If they didn't, then I will correct myself here. I don't know if I'll put it under my hand, but I'll give me the opportunity to do it. And I'll let you know. However, even if it wasn't them, whoever it was, if it was Virex Dreamcore or if it was any of these other people, fantastic. It improves the experience so much. Now, with all that said, now we're on to the final of the 3 challenges that have been added to this update. 3 of 3. This is challenge 10. Endless. Interesting name. I wonder what it could mean. So anyway, on to challenge 10, Endless. What could it possibly mean? Who knows? Oh, destroy as many weeds as you can. Well, that fits the bill. So a few things you'll notice. 1, immediately get locked out. Seems to be a theme in these new challenges. Nothing wrong with that. I like themes. I also like new challenges. But you might notice that, first of all, there's only 1 weed. Second of all, I have no flashlight. Very interesting. The final thing you'll probably notice is that there's only Zardy. Hello, Zardy. You're also very slow, and he's not sprinting at me like he's an Olympic gold medalist, which, you know, is good for me. While we're running to this weed, if Editor Me could zoom in on the little scoreboard number that was back on the menu, you probably can use deductive reasoning to figure out exactly what this is. It is an endless mode that keeps track of your score. Now, it could be as simple as that, right? But if you keep watching, as I attempt to retain my viewers' retention rates, you will see, oh, Jack joins the fight. Splash letters screen? That's not a splash screen. Letters? Cool things happening? Wow. I wonder what other things may join the fight and or other things perhaps happen. Anyway, I am being very rude about this, but as you'll soon see, the more weeds you destroy, the harder the difficulty gets. There is now a brute here. As you may see, oh, the pumpkin jacks are very slow. By the way, of course, go ahead and wishlist Zardy's Maze 2 on Steam. This is not an ad. I just really enjoy the game. But it is on Steam already. It's not, you can't download it, but it is there. And you should go wishlist it, because let me tell you, if this tells me anything about the quality control that might be in the second game, I am ready for anything they can throw at me. Well, don't take that to heart, Swinky Box. Please don't throw everything you can at me. But as you see now, there's a cable crow. So I feel at this point it's become self-explanatory of what is happening. Here's another one. Enemies become more aggressive. So that basically just means that the difficulty goes up. If you know anything about this game, you know there's a custom mode. And as you can see, self-explained or self-explanatory pretty much on the menu screens of the challenges, they have difficulties. So that just means that the difficulty has gone up by 1. I'm not exactly sure. Now, while we're going to the next weeds, let me tell you a little story. Swanky Box, not too long ago, maybe, less than a year ago, uploaded a video explaining his process of going through the making of Zardy's Maze. Now in this, there was a lot of developer stuff that we were able to see, along with notes and the developers talking to each other about the things they wanted to add into the game. Now, a couple of those things did not end up seeing fruition. For example, at one point they considered having a candle as well as a flashlight to be a sort of built-in difficulty setting, which is a very cool idea, but unfortunately, it did not get added in. However, in that same video, there was a couple other things that I noticed while playing this originally. I thought back to it. A tiny weed grows. By the way, let me pause my own story here real quick. If you haven't played this game, in Challenge 6, I believe it is, there is a tiny weed, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a tiny weed. So that's what that means. But in this developer video, back to my story, there was one particular thing that I noticed, and that was that at one point they were trying to figure out whether or not they could or wanted to implement a day and night cycle. Now, me, having played a lot of Zardy's Maze, my Zardy's Maze alarm went off in my head and just started blaring at the highest possible volume. Why? Well, because if you notice in this challenge, I don't seem to have a light. As well as that, it is daytime. Also, it is endless mode that seems to get progressively harder as things go on. So to me, that could only mean one thing pretty much. And of course, that means grab your flashlight from the middle of the maze. I felt so smart the first time because exactly what I thought was going to happen was going to happen. I am so happy for the developers. I assume that they really wanted to get this in. I'm so happy for them that they were finally able to get it in. Before we pick this up, let me just go ahead and admire how beautiful this skybox is. A nice color, a very nice color. This is one that you will rarely see in this game. I believe it is only used here, but it looks nice. But of course, that is only Weed 7. So as one may predict, of course, there are more things to be discovered as more weeds get destroyed. Pumpkin crawlers have sprouted. So as of now, normal enemies are still spawning in. They're relatively easy to go around and avoid being killed by. But as this is an endless mode, it's easy enough to understand that it won't exactly stay that way, now will it? Well, regardless, we're moving on to Weed 9 now. Another Jack has joined the fight, nothing too hard to deal with. For the time being, nothing is incredibly dangerous. The fact that there's only one brute makes things like this possible. Not only that, he's particularly slow, but... Oh! Yes, I forgot about this. Unfortunately, because I forgot about this, I could not dramatically build up to it. But yes, I am really fast now. Why? Beats me. This is an intended mechanic. It's just an interesting mechanic. You might think this is very good for us, and you'd probably be right. Some people have argued that perhaps it is a bad thing and it is meant to trip you up, and maybe it is, but you stop going really quickly if you just stop sprinting. So at the end of the day, you just don't sprint, you'll be fine. I must be careful. One thing that will trip you up while trying to do this challenge is the fact that once that is done, once you destroy your 11th weed, I believe, yeah, your super speed is gone. So don't put yourself in a bad scenario by getting used to it and then assuming that it will be there the next time you try to use it, because it won't. I hear some pumpkin jacks, cable crows. Now, in another weed or two, it will become a bit more of a problem, and I'll have to turn on Gamer Revengeance mode, which is when I actually have to start trying, which in reality doesn't actually change much. But at this point, we're still moving on. Another tip, after playing this back when I originally did it, I realized that when you're in the earlier weeds here, and if a cornstalker, which are those blue things, spawn behind you or you hear them, go destroy them, because if you don't, you will not have a very fun time. Now here, okay. Originally, I was going to say it might be a good idea to stock up on some light, but now that the pumpkin jacks know I'm here, this has gotten a lot more complicated. Will I be fine? Probably. Jack joins the fight. Okay, so I'm not sure. I've lost track of how many we're at this point, but as you can see, things are getting a little bit harder at this point. It's not exactly a walk in the park, and while the sunset at the time was very nice, it may just be time to do away with it. So now we start the dramatic, intense music, and we're back to normal Zardy's Maze. While I may say normal, what I really mean is Zardy's Maze on steroids. Because there is a lot of enemies and a lot going on. At this point, things get much more difficult. Of course, the visibility is not good, and it is a very difficult thing to deal with, but it is far from the hardest thing. You feel the wind beneath your feet. Unfortunately, I have run out of time, because of how difficult this is, to explain in a short and precise way in exactly what is happening. But I think you may be able to tell, without me telling you, what is happening. Because it is pretty self-explanatory. I can jump really high. Also, there's a rattler, so I'm going to jump over here. Onto the next weed. I am slowly losing all charisma, as if I had any to begin with. Cornstalkers have sprouted. More cornstalkers. Mind you, I cannot see the weed, so that means that it's probably over there. Because it's not a tiny weed. I was incorrect, but it is still over in that direction. This may be a good time to say that I have no intention of getting to 21 weeds, which I believe is the time where something special happens. What special, you may ask? You're probably not going to find out this time. However, I will tell you at the end of the video, and may or may not direct you to someone who has already uploaded what this might be, or perhaps I'll just put a picture up of it. This may be a problem. For the time being, we're okay. As I said, it's not exactly getting easier. I might be dead. Wow. Wow! Okay, well, as you may be able to tell, this is not exactly the easiest mode in the world. There's a rattler, and that is unfortunate. However, they can still be stopped, of course, with your light. Momentarily, that is, but long enough to run past them, which is the main problem, of course. I'm slowly losing all resolve as this is getting exponentially harder with every weed. Pumpkin jacks are after me and they are not letting up. They will not give me a break and they have no mercy, and I respect them for that. Drought is just the bane of my existence. I'm stuck on a pumpkin crawler, by the way. That's what I'm stuck on. Pumpkin jacks are once again after me, but that is okay because I've been given a nice entrance here. Zardy, you can go away. I don't care about you. You're cringe. So now another brute has joined the fight. Oh, I am silly. The reason I waited there was because I wanted to try to wait for the cable crow to leave. Unfortunately, he went right at me. But as you can see, 18, it's not bad, but it's not easy at all. But in the end, that is the final of the 3 challenges. All 3 challenges laid out on display for you, even though I lost all the footage. Well, lost is an interesting word, as it was my own stupidity that kept me from having it uploadable. Right now, this is all the new content that we know of in this update. Now, I bet you're wondering, are there any more secrets later in the levels of the Endless mode? The answer is yes. There is one particular secret that is very interesting, and another one that is also pretty interesting, I guess. When you get to around wave 21, it's either 21, 22, or 23, a giant weed spawns. Just like in the Bushwhack challenge here, a giant boss weed will spawn, and you have to destroy it. It takes about the same amount of hits, if not the exact same, about 20, and is very difficult to kill. But if you are able to beat that, the Zardy's Maze community has uncovered something very cool and very interesting. In this mode, if you get past the boss weed round, what will happen is everything will despawn, and you have a moment to rest. One weed where you can run around and do whatever you want, and as soon as you've destroyed that one, everything goes back to normal. Now, this might seem like a normal rest to have, but to those with the lore detectors going off in their brains, of course, there is a secret in this wave. I'll put right here on screen next to me a picture of this secret. Now, if you go back to the original front entrance of the maze and look up at the tree that has been there since this game had a challenge mode, you'll see a Grim Reaper-esque character sitting there. What is it? Who is it? We have no idea. But I bet that question will be answered soon enough in Zardy's Maze 2. So, with that said, feel free to go wishlist Zardy's Maze 2 on Steam now and get ready, because before you know it, that game will be out, and man, I am excited for it. It'll be amazing, and I have no doubt the developers have done a great job developing it. So, if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed all the things that I showcased here, then please like the video. If you really enjoyed it, you can subscribe. I make videos like this sometimes, but I definitely will do it more in the future if you enjoy it, because I enjoy it. Nevertheless, if there's anything more that we find in this game, any more deeper secrets, you better believe I'll upload it and do a very similar video to this one. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to stick around for that, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you there. Have a good one, and see ya.